Alright, Celebrations is not done yet. People are still buying it out. I see 25 or 26 ETB sold yesterday, and you're seeing the price has gone up. I think about $40. I see on the graph says about 230 to 40 was the price before. If I look at just the sales before, about I say about here. So this was yesterday. The price was still around 240. You can see a lot of sales around 240, maybe some 250, some 235, some 220s. And then it suddenly just accelerates to 250, 270, 290, and now we are at $280 ETBs. Seeing five left, and it goes to 290. But yeah, these are still being bought out, and ultra premium collections having a similar kind of pattern. So they're more expensive products, so fewer sales, but you can see the spike of demand. So six sold compared to it usually only sold one at a time. So that's like six times the demand, and there's only one UPC at the street price 750. Otherwise, it really is pretty much an $800 item, and it's a little harder to tell what the price difference is. But I think it's about I wrote down about 70. Pretty much, if I compare it to about a week ago, it's selling commonly about 680 before that, and then it had sales up to about $800 recently. It's only because the price, there's only one seller at here at 750 that it's kind of matching where some of the other sales. But yeah, say it's about up $70 or more than that, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, this is also starting to sell out more. You see those starting to sell out a little better. For the other products, the packs are they sold 50 packs today. The price did not really go up, but 50 packs were sold. The other two items, they didn't have as many sales. I see Pokemon Center, ETBs, no recent sales. There were about six sold on the 23rd. Otherwise, it's been a little more stagnant. And then for the celebration chest, which is kind of the other item people look at, there hasn't been a sale since July 16th. All right, now back to normal booster box updates. So I'm going to do some comparison between Scarlet Violet and Sword and Shield, which is pretty convenient. So one thing is that Paldea Evolved is up $20, and I'm going to go over the some context of why there's still a lot of activity technically with Sword and Shield. But yeah, we're now back at 360 with Paldea Evolved. They kind of dropped below that, and you see that six sold yesterday, and right now a lot of the cheaper supply is gone. There's these two sellers for 360, but we're always going back towards the 375 previous high. So after that, we're at 365, and then 370 is not even too far. So honestly, it doesn't take much for Paldea to go back up. So I wouldn't be surprised if it starts to recover, come back. Okay, another thing is Scarlet Violet base. So this has been happening in some of the cheaper boxes, like Scarlet Violet base Paradox, which historically have had issues gaining traction. But what you'll see is that demand went up. A lot of that is because three sold yesterday, four sold today. A lot of it's because there's some sellers selling for about $10 off. So that 210 price I see is a Paradox and SC base. You see 9 over here, and now there's just a bunch of sellers selling for about a 210. So there's 11 boxes left, and then now there's one 220, and it goes back to the previous price about 225. Actually, 230 is kind of in the distance too. So don't be surprised if after all this it really does reach 230. But Scarlet Violet base is pretty old at this point. It's about 2 something years old now, but it's not as old as a lot of Sword and Shield boxes, and that's why when Sword and Shield starts selling out, the demand is more significant because this doesn't happen as often where you can just casually have nine boxes available for some people. It'll happen over time, but the longer time goes on and the more ups and downs are, people will start selling out and supply will go down. So yeah, I'm still seeing the same patterns for Sword and Shield of just good amount of supply. And see Ripple, and I'll go over some of the price differences. Evolving Skies keeps dropping, it's down $30. Ripple Touch actually keeps rising, it's up $16 after already rising yesterday. Vivid Voltage is down $10, and then Battle Style is up $5, and then some $1 increases decreases. Let me just go over these. So I'll go through the main ones first. So Chilling Reign has been selling just a ton of booster boxes lately. People keep buying it. Two sold yesterday, three sold yesterday, two sold today. It's been selling pretty well the last couple of days, and booster boxes for this older messy, there's usually a lot of other products here. So you see it's filled with a lot of Korean product right now, so it's harder to find the listings. And then also I do see a 40% feedback seller. Usually people avoid that, But with all this like demand happening, it's not really normal since I've been keeping track of this. Like usually like demand isn't this strong. Like it's not like huge spikes or whatever, like 20, 30 boxes. But I am starting to see the effects. So you see these are around 415, 420. And then Chilling Rain is like is going back to about 430 over here, 450, 450 over here, and the effect is kind of varied between the boxes. I think Lost Origins getting pretty close to $600. Seems like people are buying a lot of the lower price boxes as they come. I mentioned Lost Origin. I'm gonna mention this. So this is the box that kind of rose recently. So two sold yesterday. You see like pretty good demand numbers, just pretty consistent demand, like 2 to 4 boxes a day, and it's actually really close to 600. Like 600 is pretty much here. It's 595, and there's really not that many boxes. Like there's this damaged one. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't want that for a long term. That's too damaged. Um, these are 560. 1, 2, 3. These are 560, and it'll just go to 595. So Lost Origin, it's more of a slowly but surely kind of thing with this number of demand. For Fusion Strike, Fusion Strike sold 3 today. Fusion Strike also has a pretty big jump coming. These are around 730, 740, and then you're seeing like see 750s, 790s. I mean 770s. So with all that amount of demand, like supply just slowly starting to run out. Brilliant Stars has been selling a little more slowly lately at 1, but Brilliant Stars, it's mostly because this TX Pokebid, no one's been buying from them. But otherwise, like, so you always see the price the same as 410, but the next price is automatically at 430, and then 440, and then 450 close by. So that's actually a little better, maybe, than even Fusion. Astral Rings has become really cheap. If you compare it to other boxes, it's a good amount cheaper. And people are starting to pick it up again because it's so cheap and there's so much Sword and Shield momentum. But 2 did sell yesterday. There's been a couple of sales before. Before that, like, we are having very meager sales of Astral Rings. See all this white space over here. And it's just the previous price commonly before was 373. And we're just starting to get back to that as people are buying up these cheaper ones. For Silver Tempest, you're seeing like 2 boxes sell per day pretty consistently. And Silver Tempest has historically been played pretty slowly but surely, but it is pretty close to 390 again. Only three boxes before that. Not a huge price ladder, but yeah, as supply runs out, people will start buying these out more. And then Evolving Skies keeps dropping, so someone finally bought another expensive Evolving Skies box at about 2,500, so 2480 is over here, and now there's another listed for 2450. Yet I wouldn't be surprised. Like I think it kind of reached its high for now, and dropping to 2400s, maybe 2300s, 2200s for some time. Wouldn't be too surprising. Somewhere in that range until the next sort of run continues. And then just for the early Sword and Shield boxes, so Sword and Shield base hasn't been targeted. No sales since July 11th. Rebel Clash has been targeted recently a little bit. 2 sold yesterday, so it's starting to rise back up. Darkness Blaze sold 1 yesterday, 1 the day before. Vivid Voltage went down about $10, mostly because there was Breaking Code listing all these cheaper boxes here. So Vivid Voltage is easier to do this sort of thing. You see it's with Scarlet Violet base. That's because Vivid Voltage has been available for so long. That's actually Scarlet Violet base. So I guess I moved it. So Vivid Voltage sold 1 over here, and there's just a cheaper one at 225. Otherwise, it goes 235. And Battle Style has actually been selling a lot more lately. So the resold the last couple of days each, and now it's that much closer to breaking 220. EV Box has been having a lot of cheap sales, and so like they've been listing them at about 215. And then for the rest of the things, still seeing similar patterns with some of the Scarlet Violet boxes. So Stadium Flames getting really close to about 240. There's only these boxes left for about 230, 233, then it's back to 240, and then really close to where it was before, about 245, 247. Paradox is having a lot of cheaper boxes listed, so a lot of the cheaper supply hasn't been flushed out yet. 6 sold yesterday, 3 sold today, and you just see a bunch of 210 boxes up here. Midsight Gaming's there. And then you go back to about 220. Temporal Forces, short printed set, two sold yesterday, one sold today. It's just heading back toward 240. Twilight had zero demand yesterday, but it's already back at 280. It's heading toward 290 pretty soon. Stellar Crown was heading toward 230 yesterday, zero sold yesterday. Now there's a few more 225 boxes. There's four. Otherwise, it's on track for about 229. And Surging Sparks, waiting for it to cross like to 247 next. Five sold yesterday. And then yeah, it's struggling breaking 245, but 247 is kind of next price target.